have two groups tonight. The first group will do the Ronald McDonald House. The second group is going to be the McDonald Blood Center. There's only two groups, so it'll be a little bit shorter than expected situation. So, and at the end, if you would like, as guests, to maybe give some general feedback to our two groups, I would definitely allow some time for that. And after that point, if there wants to be a little bit of networking, if you have some time to chat, if anybody wants to network with these individuals, we have time for that too. So, thanks again for coming on this wonderfully bright, sunny day. Ronald McDonald House, you guys have the floor.
Hello, I'm Elizabeth.
I'm Zach.
I'm Addie.
I'm Eric.
Here in Iowa City, we have a situation where many families travel from all across the country and all across the world to come here to support their children who are receiving treatment at the University of Iowa Children's Hospital. Unfortunately, many a time, these families come here and have nowhere to stay. But luckily for them, there's the Ronald McDonald House. The Ronald McDonald House is a nonprofit organization that focuses on supporting the family members of the children who are receiving treatment at the University of Iowa Children's Hospital. Today, we'd like to tell you a little bit more about this need, including some basic facts and some financial statistics. And then we'd like to tell you a little bit more about what the Ronald McDonald House does and how you can volunteer there. To start off, I'd like to tell you a little bit more about my brother Steve, because we think that he is a great example of somebody who needed this service. Steve was born with tracheal stenosis, which means that there was a pinch in his trachea. Doctors told us that an equivalent to an adult with tracheal stenosis would be like running up and down stairs, breathing through the tip of a pin. So in 1995, when Steve was 2, this is something that we wanted to have addressed. We had him admitted to the University of Iowa hospitals and clinics, and he had to undergo surgery. Now, unfortunately, with this surgery came a month-long coma. My parents were from Dubuque at the time, and they couldn't afford to drive here every day, and they couldn't afford to get a hotel room every day for a month. So they ended up turning to the Ronald McDonald House for help. I talked to my mom about her experience with the Ronald McDonald House, and she said that she enjoyed the domestic atmosphere that the Ronald McDonald House provided for her. It was about $20 per week at the time to stay there, and she appreciated the fact that everybody around her was in a similar situation to her. In addition to that, the Ronald McDonald House also provided food for its residents a couple of times a week, which is one less expense, and when you're in a situation where medical bills are piling up, one less expense is one less expense. And then in addition to that, she mentioned that the Ronald McDonald House asks its residents to do chores, which seems like work. You know, why would you, I don't want to clean my own bedroom, why would I want to clean somebody else's community room? Well, you do clean up your own bedroom, and you do clean up your own living room. So while it is work, it helps acclimate the residents to the situation that they are living in. And thanks to the Ronald McDonald House, and thanks to the University of Iowa hospitals and clinics, especially the Children's Hospital, my brother is now a functioning, happy, healthy 22-year-old young man. He's a college graduate, and it's all thanks to the Ronald McDonald House and the University of Iowa Children's Hospital. So as I said, this all happened in 1995, so now I'm going to hand this over to Zach, who's going to tell you a little bit more about what it's like today.
Hey everyone. Just look down. I handed out a bunch of different sheets of paper. If you don't have like a sheet, just look at a partner's. This is basically, I always learn by example. So when I see Ellie's example of how this affected her, it really helps me actually understand that this is a big need. Below there's a little article that's on Irma and David. If you'd like to peruse over that at any time during the presentation, you're more than welcome to. Or the other handout also mentions the different programs that do take place at the Ronald McDonald House. So the average stay for anyone who wants to go into the Ronald McDonald House is 7 to 10 days. This is an average, so I have heard of people staying there for 4 years, for a night. It completely depends. They're very cooperative with any of your difficult treatments. Currently there's 31 rooms. They just added another 8 rooms since 2013. So families are allowed to stay inside these rooms for however many designated nights they're allotted. They average about 194 people each month, which is equivalent to 70,000 individuals over their lifespan. It was formed in 1983. So it's been around for a while. It still needs more growth because 31 rooms doesn't allow for every family in Iowa to, I guess, have the support that they do need. And there's over 300 locations worldwide. So this isn't just in Iowa. We're just talking about the eastern Iowa and Western Illinois branch, but it's all over the world. We're just trying to bring awareness, even if you don't live around here, to even do it, or to donate or support even at your hometown or anything like that. There are a few requirements though. You must be under 21. So for you to be able to be allotted into the program, your son or daughter must be under the age of 21. So unfortunately, if they are over, you will have to pay for your own hotel fees and those different necessities. And you must live over 20 miles away. Allie also mentioned that her family is from Dubuque, Iowa, which is outside the 20-mile radius. So if you do live close, they expect you to travel and commute instead of if you do live out of the state or in a different city, then you are allowed to stay there. This is just comparing rates per night between Ronald McDonald House and different Iowa City like hotels and different, like, these are pretty recognizable names, the Marriott, the Hampton Inn, Travelodge. As you can see, Ronald McDonald House is $20 compared to the average, which is about $97. Sheridan's all the way up there with $142. And $20 is not actually mandatory. You are able to stay for free. It is just a donation that they ask you to give for the room because it does cost about $100 to run a hotel room in 2015.
Okay, I will be talking about 3 different factors of Ronald McDonald and what they offer to the guests. First, I'll be talking about the relationships. Throughout the house, they have strong relationships, and they do this by having a set mission that the whole organization follows. They also help build relationships throughout the house. Now, this can be other family members that are staying there, or other families that are going through the same exact, not the same exact, but the same problems that you are. And it helps you stay connected to the hospital staff that are taking care of the kids. Now they do this because it helps with the healing process because nothing is easy facing alone, especially when you're dealing with a sick child. Now another factor of this is making it feel like a home. Because like we've stated before that a lot of these families are far away from their home. They could be there at weeks at a time or even more. They already have a lot on their plate. So by having this, it just helps with one less factor they have to worry about. So they use the saying, a home away from a home. It also helps keep families connected, so within the house and also with their kids that may be staying at the hospital. Now, they do this also because they want to express the idea that nothing matters except for your child's health. And they also help with the home-cooked meals every single day. They give private bedrooms, and they give playrooms for the kids and other family members. The last part I will be talking about is transportation. Now, this is really important also because it helps with the families get transported to the hospital and to their home throughout the day. They do this to have easy access to the hospital staff, which also helps them stay connected to their kids that are staying in the hospital. Like I've said before, they just want to make this process as easy as possible because they're already dealing with enough. They already have enough on their plate.
Now I'll be talking about the services. One thing Ronald McDonald offers is a game room. That includes a pool table, ping pong table, an Xbox One, and a PS4. That's obviously really awesome for the kids just to kind of get their mind off of the trouble their family's going through. They also offer a toy closet, which they offer, so for every kid that comes in, they get one voucher. And that voucher allows the kid to pick whatever toy they want that's in that toy closet, and they can take it home with them. Another thing is holidays. They'll have people come in and sing Christmas carols with the families. They'll carve pumpkins and decorate pumpkins for Halloween and many other holidays like that. And then how to volunteer. There's actually 3 ways that you can volunteer. You can apply to be an in-house volunteer, which everybody, or those guys would be driving a shuttle between and back from the hospital, and they also do just little errands if you need to go get groceries or if you need to go just any other kind of little errand. You can host a family meal, so you can prepare just any home-cooked meal and bring it in to enjoy that with the families at the Ronald McDonald House and kind of learn their stories and just kind of connect with them, which also goes back to Maddie's idea, which brings them a strong, just connecting with them and making them feel like they're at home. And then holiday help, you can come in during the holidays and decorate Christmas cookies or carve pumpkins, like I said, for Halloween. And all of these just kind of really make the families feel like they're at home and make their stay as easy as possible. And then that link is at the below is where you can go to actually apply to be an in-house volunteer. And then just to kind of conclude, Ronald McDonald's an awesome organization. Obviously helps a bunch of families that can't afford to stay in a hotel, to get different kinds of food, groceries or anything like that. So Ronald McDonald's a really awesome organization just to help out families obviously a time of need. I volunteered there. I thought it was really awesome for a couple weeks, and then so I really suggest to you guys that you volunteer there and contribute some of your time. So I'll take some questions.
I have a question. You mentioned that they had just recently added, like, was it 8 rooms or
Yeah.
beds? With the expansion, the new building of the new children's hospital, is there a plan to like further expand or fundraise for that?
Unfortunately, no. Ronald McDonald House is completely separate from the University of Iowa Hospital and Clinic. I would like to see someday where they actually incorporate it into the same building. Unfortunately, they're separate entities, so they won't do that.
Do they still only ask for a donation of $20 per night, or has it changed since 1995?
In
It's,
1995, it was $20 a week.
Oh,
Currently, it's $20 a night.
Okay.
and that is a donation.
And both times it was a donation.
They don't need to do.
Exactly, maybe I missed it when you first started talking, you mentioned that families could stay for the amount of time allotted. How is that time allotted?
So unfortunately, it is a highly regarded stay and hotel for families. So families are only allotted a certain amount of time for their procedure. That does not mean that it's decided by Ronald McDonald House. Unfortunately, just because their child is having surgery and going to be having surgery for 2 years does not mean they're going to be able to stay at Ronald McDonald House for 2 years. It could be 6 months, and then the family is expected to either travel or get a hotel room in a different area. It's just very competitive, so they try and fit every family in there. But with 31 rooms, you can't really do that.
Any more questions?
So in regards to the way Ronald McDonald House is currently supported, so how are they currently supported, and what are some other ways of volunteering that people can support those initiatives towards Ronald McDonald House?
I know that they accept donations, and I believe they have, just like Susan G. Komen has the Susan, they have the Relays for Life. I think they do similar things in regards.
It is highly donation-based. That's what is unfortunate about a lot of volunteer organizations. They are highly run off their donations, so if 1 year they have high donations, it's great. Next year they can have barely any, and it can definitely topple.
They're the one that does the pop
Pop
tabs?
tabs?
Yeah.
Yep.
Gotcha. I don't see those as often anymore.
I don't know if they still do.
They started to stray away from them. Why, I have no idea. They just decided that they were going to go with a different marketing technique. So.
Yeah. They still accept them though, right?
They do.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
For the home cooked meal, is that something where they supply the food, they need help cooking it, or is that something where like a family would say, I'm gonna make this? And assuming there's certain nutritional restrictions. Needs.
It's both. I know when I volunteered there, they did bring in, I think one time they had concheros, which was really awesome. They also bring in some baked bread and like a home cooked meal. Also they have families coming, I'm sure they have to follow some kind of regulations to see if there's any kind of peanut allergies or anything like that, but yes, they do have both.
Is the Hope Lodge connected with these guys? No?
It is not. We were actually debating between Ronald McDonald House or Hope Lodge. Yeah, they are completely different in that Ronald McDonald House strives towards children. Hope Lodge is more for the elderly who are getting treatment. So that's where they differ.
Why'd you guys pick Hope Lodge, or Ronald McDonald over Hope Lodge? Just out of curiosity.
Ronald McDonald House definitely has more of a, like University of Iowa is great for finding homes for the elderly when they are getting taken care of here. Hope Lodge is a great example, there's a couple others. But children are really nowadays are starting to develop different forms of cancer, develop different breathing issues. that have really never happened before that we need to start addressing, because 31 rooms unfortunately is not going to fulfill every family that live in Iowa. So we just feel like it's a bigger outbreak of
Any other questions for this group? Can you go into the in-class evaluation part and select the group? Take your time, go and fill it in. Remember we talked about constructive feedback?